Hello everyone and welcome to Net Crypto, where I give you important information and news about all coins of interest. And today we're going to be taking a look at Metapets. So if you're interested in content on Metapets, that's ensure that you're subscribed, right? So that you stay ahead of the game in everything happening with this project. Like I always say, this is a project that we have flagged here on Net Crypto, and we have got our magnifying glasses out. We are checking each and everything that is happening within this project. We are using this project as a case study, right? So let's jump in and see what the price has been. So we do see here in the last 24 hours we have got a nice recovery of 8%. Of course, we see Bitcoin edging to that price of 38,000. We see 37,900, right? So some good recovery of Bitcoin. So we do see here some money coming into the project. Generally, money is coming into the project. Whenever you see a graph going up, it means money is coming in, right? And of course, the market sentiment, you do see here 85% people voting good and 15% bad. It's not that bad, but there's just a little wave of investor confidence, but it's not that significant at the moment, right? And we do see here 125,000 traded in the last 24 hours, 22% down in terms of trading volume for the last 24 hours, right? So one of the things that I wanted to talk about today is on the white paper, right? This is point number 8, Metapets final stage, right? This is the meat and potatoes of this project, right? So one of the reasons here at Net Crypto, we want to see an illustration of how this is going to work out is exactly because everyone is investing based on Metapets final stage, right? And what is that final stage? Let's take a look into that. Let's see exactly what the white paper is saying. And it says here, even though we have already started working to integrate Metapets into the metaverse, our final stage is the most complex and thus will take more time to complete. Eventually, your pet will be able to participate in other in other worlds across different platforms. Excited to be with you, just like in the real world. Our virtual reality games are currently in development along with Metapets on VR headset. This is an important part. I think the CEO in the AMA on Friday last week hinted to something along the lines of showing us some sort of hardware. So I think it was something to do with this VR headset, right? Designed by a team of highly skilled and experienced technicians. Take a look at our roadmap on our website for upcoming dates and follow us on social media to begin your journey with us. Finally, let's meet in the metaverse together and, for example, start a breeding program for dogs, shelters for kittens. Shelters for kittens. How did they become orphaned, those kittens? Anyway, or just come together with other owners to make a great community in a place where anything is possible, right? So we see here the final stage, virtual reality games development, integrating our games with famous metaverse platforms, Metapets, VR. This is a lot of work. Integrating is almost like integrating two worlds together, right? Because this issue of the metaverse, like we have seen a lot of schemes going around, everything is being called meta whatever, right? The metaverse is not a new concept, right? It's a metaverse is a virtual reality world, especially if you are in the gaming industry, right? You would know that you are able to play in some games even from 5-10 years ago. You are able to play in a virtual reality world where you are interacting with other players. So that's almost the same concept, right? So the metaverse is not new. It's just like when the whole buzz came out in the IT space of cloud computing. Cloud computing is not new. It was very odd. From those days where Yahoo launched, where you could have your email by just opening an email account on a website, that was cloud computing, right? So here now there's the whole big fuss about metaverse. Metaverse is not new, right? It has just been given a name and it's just being done a little differently. So metaverse is not new, and to integrate into other metaverse platforms, it's like integrating one game to another, right? We are going to be waiting to see how these things are going to exactly work out. So one of the things that we are very critical about this project is what they are promising here is quite huge, right? It's quite huge, and there is no explanations into what sort of pets are we going to have? If you're going to have a cat, how many breeds of cat are there going to be there, or breeds of dogs? There's nothing. The white paper is not saying anything about that, right? Because some people want a serval cat, right? So another guy wanted a camel, right? Someone wants a donkey. You see, someone wants a kikaju. So we want to find out exactly what sort of pets are going to be in here, right? And this idea of we see here that our virtual reality games are currently in development along with Metapets on VR headset. This, guys, I'm going to tell you, I've been in the IT industry for very long, and I've worked on projects where you develop hardware for a specific product. Those projects are very complex in order of marketing, because you want people to be able to buy your hardware, right, alongside with everything that you need to use that hardware, right? So to design a specific VR headset for Metapets, and it means you need to only buy this hardware. Why would you do that, right? I think integrating to what is already existing in the market would be the way to go, right? Of course, there will be concerns of the quality that you'd expect and all that. Maybe that's the reason why they want to do this, but this is not a good idea, right? This is not a good idea. You can go and ask anyone who is working in the IT space, where you actually need to develop a product, right? A hardware product that is linked to a software, or some sort of software that you need to purchase to run on it. It's very difficult, because you need the value proposition is very difficult to sell, because you need consumers to be able to buy that hardware, and then also need to purchase what goes along for this to be a pet in the metaverse. Of course, you'll be able to breed it and all of that, right? But what really concerns us with this project is what is being promised here is huge, right? It's huge, but a simple website is taking time. What does that tell us? Right? Of course, the CEO say you have to be patient, we have to be patient, but they are promising huge technology, whereas a simple website with clear roadmaps and all that is taking forever, right? It's almost like those big ships, right, in there that carry those huge cargoes. You know, those ships some of them, they take 10 years to build, and you have to put investor funds up front, billions of dollars, right? No one is going to put their money down if they don't know if this company is going to produce. For example, if a company cannot give a bot in 6 months, a simple bot, right? Would you invest billions in them making a ship, right, that they need to complete within 10 years? Definitely not. So there is a huge worry in terms of investors' money with this project, right? Because the time that is taking for simple things like the website is just astronomical compared to what they are promising here, especially for this final stage, because they're saying it's going to take like very long. How long is long, right? So definitely, 8net Crypto, we are going to continue monitoring this project, right? We are going to continue monitoring it. I do know that projects need time to develop stuff and to produce stuff, but almost every project has developed something. Here we don't even have an illustration of how this thing is going to work. We don't have an explanation of what sort of breeds of animals are we going to expect, right? So as investors, our investments here at Net Crypto are driven by data. They are driven by what we see with other projects, and we compare it to you. Unfortunately, that's the order of the day. Everyone is doing a metaverse project, right? So we are going to compare what you're doing with what other people are doing, right? That's what we do. That's how the market is. Because what else are we going to use to benchmark, right? What else are we going to use to benchmark? So basically, that's one of the things that I thought I should talk about today. Just let me know what you think there in the comment section. I know that a lot of people don't like this. They appreciate this sort of content, but a lot of people are saying you should stop these Metapets videos, right? You should stop them, but I don't think so. This is an interesting case study. I have flagged this project ever since we started talking about the huge worries within the project. We've seen the team working to resolve those things one by one. Now we are waiting for the static audit. We can't wait to go and dive into that PDF. Once it's out or here on the website, we'll be able to jump into that document and see everything that has been picked up by static, right, and how all those things have been resolved, right? So we can't wait for that. it's I do understand SETI can take time. Even for many other projects that I've been tracking, SETI took 2 months for some projects. So we're just waiting to see what is going to happen. But things like the website are completely in the project's team's hands, right? The development team's hands. And I don't understand why it would take such a very long time when you are promising humongous technologies here, right? So it just goes to show, like, is the DevOps being used to produce this? Because definitely you're going to need DevOps methodology to produce this kind of a project, right? Continuous delivery, continuous integration. This is something that you're going to need. You need a huge DevOps team in this space, but it does, from the way things are happening, I don't think these guys are using DevOps to DevOps methodology in producing this. So it might take a very, 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 very long time, right? Because you compile a piece of code and then you see there's a problem and it goes back. So I don't understand exactly why things are taking long. At least an illustration, right? Such of like a skeleton view to see how this thing is going to work. And this really worries us, this thing of creating hardware, specific hardware for this particular project, right? For I would say this is something that you do in the long term, but for now, try to integrate with what is already there, right? There's multiple VR headsets. You can even say, okay, there's this version of VR. That's what you have to use for now. That's what we are going to go with, right? Then later on, you can create your own hardware, because it's always, the value proposition is always difficult if you're going to be creating your own hardware, and you need people to also buy stuff that works along with that, right? So this is my review today. Just let me know what you think there in the comment section. So if you've watched all the way until now, just subscribe to the channel. We are going to be talking Metapets for a very long time. We are going to be looking at everything happening with this project. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.